All right, so this is my friend Shane Brady. He's basically done it all. Killed it all, guided it all, right? Where did you guide? NWT or Yukon?
Guided in Yukon, guided in northern BC, southern BC, eastern BC, western Island, everywhere.
All right, so this is what I'm going to share with everybody first. So we got a mutual friend. You know him, you're pretty tight, but don't say his name.
Okay.
Because he didn't say.
Yeah, he didn't.
Right? But anyway, I'm using Shane's my character reference because he contacted me, second or third generation outfitter, whatever they are. They've done it all a million times, been everywhere a million times. And he said flat out, he never ever entertained even the thought of these things being real, right?
Yep.
That's what he said.
Yeah, I've had a few conversations with him about it.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
And now he says, now I know. And then so what he said to you, he said it to you first that his guides were running into them or something?
Yeah, last year he was telling me, he says, I don't know what the hell's going on.
Oh, last year it's been going down since.
He's saying that they're talking about it all the time up there. And the First Nations have been talking about it up there forever and ever and ever, right?
Yeah, well, they've known forever.
Yeah.
So his staff has had shit going down.
Yeah, lots.
And they've seen him and stuff.
Yeah, they've seen him, hear him, they're screaming, they're wrecking stuff.
Yeah, so when he emailed you or whatever, and then he's going to email me, and then I emailed him, and he came back to me, and then so I just sent him a bunch of stuff from some very credible people, emails to me that I don't think I was even supposed to share them online, but I gave them to him to read just in confidence. So here, man, here's the deal.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, holy shit. And then I said, the only reason I'm doing this because everybody needs to know. And he's like, yeah, people do need to know. Anyway, and then he sent me that recording that his guide sent with those things screaming.
That makes the bloody hair on the back of your neck stand up, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then I've already played on the videos a bunch of times. So anyways, but since then, so he is still in the bush. He was in the bush texting us from Starlink or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's still up there. And these guys are in a different camp, and he hasn't been in that camp yet. And what he told me was he won't be in that camp until September. And then the guys that I know, Dave Plottis and everybody, I shavered him, and he goes, let's go up there. And then I emailed him, well, I guess I'll go up there. I got some guys that want to go up right now. I'm not really into it myself because I'm good.
Got some hunting to do.
Well, I just don't need to start those things being done.
Go looking for them. Right?
You know what I mean? It's like, I think we're already at that. Okay, You're over there, I'm over here. But anyway, so we won't say his name, but he's a solid dude, right? He's not a prankster.
Probably one of the most solid guys I know.
Right, he's not a joker. Because I've had a couple people email me and
bullshit
said,
kind of guy.
Yeah, I had a couple people email me and they said, "Oh, they took that off YouTube. That's taken off YouTube. Somebody's screwing with you." No.
The video's on the front porch of his main lodge, and the screaming is like,
right there.
There's just no denying what's going on out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up.
All right.
It's crazy.
So that's the main thing I wanted you to just confirm. That, I mean, you've known him forever. You guys are tight. I don't know him. I mean, obviously, he knows who I am. I know who he is. They got a wicked reputation for what they do. They're great at what they do. They know everybody. They don't need attention.
Yeah, he contacted me specifically to contact you because of what was going on. He's like, holy shit. And it wasn't that long before that we were talking about it. And he's like, yeah, he says, you kind of can't deny it at this point, right?
Right.
I seen tracks when I was a kid, and I've always been skeptical about it, but where I saw these tracks was in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, where was that at?
Out of Seashell. Well, but Roberts Creek.
Of course it was. Roberts Creek is
way back in the bush, like way back, like a 15-hour hike.
There's been shit piles of stuff right out of Roberts Creek at the highway. Yeah, in Half Moon Bay or something.
Yeah.
Half Moon Bay was on fire.
Really?
Yeah, big time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well.
So what'd you see?
I just saw 3 big, humongous tracks in kind of a muddy spot on an old road, and I was probably.
What were they doing? Were they walking tracks or
just
standing?
Just walking. 3 walking tracks through the mud, but they had to be like 12 inches long. But the weird thing to me is there was only 3 toes on each foot.
No shit.
Yeah, there was 3 toes.
There's tons and tons and tons of people claim seeing 3-toe tracks, but I've never heard of them up here.
Yeah, weird.
No shit, eh?
Yeah.
What kind of toes?
They looked like big, kind of half-eaten burnt sausage toes.
No way.
Yeah.
Any toenails or claws or whatever?
No, I mean, I was like 12 or 13 years old. Right. It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
But you see these tracks, and it's like, okay, that's not a bear. That's not a wolf. That's not a person. That's, what the hell is that? And then we got the hell out of there as fast as we could. It scared the crap out of us, right?
Were they wide?
Yeah, they were like, I don't know, probably 10 inches wide, 12 inches long.
Holy shit.
Yeah, maybe 8 inches wide.
How long were the toes? Like proportion for a human toe to a track?
Yeah, I would say, yeah. Probably 3-4 inches.
That's creepy.
Yeah, it scared the shit out of
So
us.
I thought you had something else up. Did you smell them before something? Or?
Yeah, I smelled them when I was working for Forest Service when I was like 18 or 19 years old. We were working on a growth and yield plot way back across a burned out bridge, or the bridge had been washed out, but it was like a 4 kilometer hike back into the bush, into this valley. And we were measuring these trees, right? Taking the growth and the height and diameter and all that sort of stuff. And they're all, there was about 5 of us in there, and you got this really, really, really raunchy smell, but it was not like death or anything I've smelt before. And then we start hearing these noises, and it scared the shit out of us. 5 full-grown men, and like most of these guys were older than me. I was, probably the youngest guy there.
Yeah, but you guys are shitting. You guys are shitting yourself from the smell.
From the smell, and you just knew something was there.
Oh,
You could feel it, like 100%. You could feel it. The hair standing on the back of your neck, and it's like, what is that? And I've been around grizzly bears my whole life. I've been charged by 5 or 6 different grizzly bears. Had some serious shootouts and stuff like that.
Shot dozens of them.
And literally nothing has scared me like that.
Weird, eh?
Yeah. And what was there to be scared of? It was a smell and some sounds and but it was just that feeling of impending doom.
No shit.
That was, yeah.
That's common. That's really common.
Is it?
Big time. Yeah. Big time. What were the sounds?
Just like crunching and a bit of banging and stuff like that. Not really any voice sounds or grunts or screaming or anything like that. It was just, there was something out there.
It was letting you
and
know.
It stunk.
It was letting you know. Is it?
And it was scary.
But it was letting you know.
Oh, 100% it was. It was right there.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Where was that again?
I think it was in Chehalis. Like it was outside of.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. There's a shit pile of stuff.
Yeah, like it was out Harris Lake. I can't remember Harrison, that kind of country somewhere there.
Bullseye. Huh?
Yeah.
Do you know anybody else seen him?
Yeah, I know a ton of guys that have seen him. Actually, a native, one of my neighbors up here at my ranch, saw one crossing out of my property across the train tracks. And we're in the middle of nowhere here, right? Like there's nobody here.
I know here, and I'm standing here by myself tonight, and I'm like, because I was in a cabin in north of Souk and had one beaten on the cabin.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, when I was like 19. Wow. It's freaking scary.
One of the other guys, where those elk are up the hill right now, where he was running those elk last night. The guy that has the property on the other side of the road, he was upriver here in there's a couple of big sloughs with a ridge that runs between the two of them. And he was up there moose hunting. And he says, here comes this guy in a ghillie suit.
No way.
And he's like, I'm in the middle of nowhere. Like, jet boated in there, and, I've been there for a couple of days. But he says, I'm just sitting quiet. And he said you'd see it, then you wouldn't see it, then you'd see it, then you wouldn't. And it wasn't like it was ducking behind trees or anything. He's like, I just thought it was a guy in a ghillie suit. And he said it walked up to about 20 feet from me and disappeared. Gone.
No way.
Yeah. And he's told me the story, and I've always been kind of skeptical. And you think, well, shit, right?
I know, but what?
And then it's like, everybody's telling the same stories, and how can it be bullshit? Like First Nations have been talking about it for hundreds of years, way before white man showed up, and every race of man on the continent has been talking about it.
Yeah.
Right. So how can it not be?
Oh, it's B. So that guy with the ghillie suit thing. So you got to think of it. You always look at it from this angle. It's like, all right, you look at who he is. What would make his brain say to itself, I think I'm going to wake up this morning and tell everybody, and I'm going to make up that I saw a guy in a ghillie suit coming and disappear in front of me. That's what I'm going to do today because I'm bored as shit. I'm so bored.
Yeah.
And I need that attention really bad too. Right?
Well, I'm sure there are lots of guys out there that do that, but I don't think this guy's a bullshitter.
I don't think there's as many people out there bullshitting as the regular people.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think so either. No,
it just does not make sense.
100%.
There's far more things you could make up these days and stuff like that for attention.
Yeah.
Right? There's the stupid
like encounters with strange women.
Yeah. No shit. Yeah. I met up with Pam Anderson in an airport like 5 days ago. It was great.
She had a crush on me in junior high.
Yeah. Huh? Interesting. So.
Weird shit.
Yeah. Anyways, I guess more I wanted just to have a character witness here for the guy who emailed us the screams and the report and what's happening. But you know what I think happened? Because I told him that these other guys wanted to go. And I think, and this isn't a bad thing, this isn't a bad state of mind. Your average person who had no knowledge on this topic ever, all of a sudden has them all the time right there. 7 or 8 out of 10 human beings would probably go to the brain set of, I'm going to go get a video of that thing first if I can cash on this shit. Right? Probably. I mean, why not? So, because when I said to him, these guys are ready to go and cover right now, then he kind of went semi-radio silence on me.
Oh, did he?
I'm like, okay, well, no big deal. I don't give a shit.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't think that he thinks that,
thing, right?
Yeah, right. Like he may have thought, oh, those guys want to come up here and
maybe the laughing stock.
And videotape it first. Maybe. Who knows? I don't care. Because I definitely do not give a shit about trying to videotape them. For myself personally. No.
Why would you want to go look for one?
I'm good. I know they're there, and tens of thousands of people as well have seen them, and I'm good. So, because everybody keeps on saying to me, what's going on with the guy up north? What's going on? It was a sham. It was a joke. It was a lie. It's bullshit. Oh, they stole the sound. So I'm getting pummeled with all this shit.
Well, I'm sure when he gets back, I'm sure he'll have a sit down.
Yeah, we're going to get him.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. He'll fill us in, and I don't bug people. I got a scientist who's putting 34 hours of conversation into paper form out of his own time for us on here. Then I made the mistake of sharing a few pages already, and that's all I got. Well, I've got more. And they was like, oh, yeah, where's the rest? Does it make sense? I'm like, okay, you know what? You guys just have to sit back and wait, just like I am. But I'm not going to bug him. The guy's got cancer in his 70s.
Oh, man.
I'm not going to breathe down his neck to take his time.
No.
And I'm not going to breathe down Blank's neck in the NWT. He's out there guiding, man. He'll be back when he gets back. Whatever. I'm good. I'm patient. And if he wants to share what he knows, well, he'll share.
Yeah, 100%.
If he's got,
and I think he probably will.
Yeah. Oh, he'll share the story. If he doesn't want to share a video, I don't give a shit. Don't share it with me.
Well, and then there's all the stories from all of his guides over the years.
Well, he told me that a guide and 2 hunters saw one last year.
Really?
Yeah.
So
is what it is. Now, with my luck, I'm going to be sitting in this damn cabin by myself tonight, and the wall's going to get getting slapped. That's what happened to me. It was brutal.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, and it was on the high. So there's a window right there, and there's a window on the end of the cabin, same size. And I'm on the couch against that back corner, and the wood stove's in the corner. And I'm just reading a book, and there's no curtains. All of a sudden, and I mean, boom! This thing hit that, shook the whole cabin, shook the stovepipe. I'm like, but I'd already seen one by then. And I'm just like, and all I had was a 303 British with the old 9-shot. Remember the old 9-shot clip in there? Had one of those.
Yeah.
I just went like this. I got up, I went in the bedroom, grabbed that thing, and put it on the floor and just sat back on the couch like this. And it beat that wall, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 times.
Did you hide under your blankie?
No, I just sat there. I just sat there with the rifle with the doors right there.
Holy crap.
Door and the 2 windows, and I kept that wall to my back, and I just sat there. I mean, there's no lights outside. I'm not going outside. It hit that thing, and it was all, it's thick shit like this. There was a thick wall of shit, Vancouver Island.
Yeah.
Thick wall of shit behind the cabin, and you had to squeeze in between it and the bush. No deer ran through there and hit the wall. Do you know what I mean? Like there's nothing came running through that thick bush and hit that wall. Something was going and knew
I know you're in there.
And knew I was right there on the couch because it's right above my head.
That's just giving me the willies.
I know I'm getting goosebumps right now remembering it. See that?
Willies.
Yeah, now I got to sit here. Oh yeah, and there's a ghillie suit over here, and another one left my property over here. Oh, that's nice, Shane. Thanks, thanks. Because these guys are leaving right now to go back south, 5-hour drive, and I am sitting here in the middle of frickin' nowhere. I'm gonna go drift hunting on the river with a friend the next day, and then I'm gonna head up north. So here I am. And there we go. There's our character witness for the video of the sounds that I shared with everybody. And then if I make this a video before I go, I'll put the sounds on it at the end of this, and you guys can hear it again.
Craziness.
That's the update, right?
It's big country here, and like there's no reason for you to know what's out there.
You wouldn't believe the shit that's going on right over the top of those hills that people a logger emailed me.
100%.
Oh my God. Then the RCMP in Jasper, right around the corner, the RCMP slid flat out. It's nonstop sightings on the Jasper, BC border on this side. Nonstop.
Really?
Yeah.
That ain't very far.
That's right there. Yeah, anyway, so we'll just, again, but we got to do this later for the other channel. We're going to tell our stupid hunting stories one day.
We got a couple.
As long as it doesn't get us arrested. We got a couple.
What about last week's?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's back for the other hunt channels. Oh. You ever had anything weird happen around here? Or felt nervous ever? Or stared at?
No, not here. No.
Maybe-
I have in other places, but not here.
You're lucky, because this is like ground zero-ish.
I know.
You're lucky they left you alone.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. That's it. That's your report. Take from what you will, or leave it. Whatever. So, my buddies are gone. We'll go back down south, and I am filling up the Zodiac here to get ready to float down the remote northern portion of the Fraser River. The mighty Fraser River. You can Google it up, and it is back out that way over there at the base of those mountains. Actually, it's between us and that hill right there. And I'm at my friend's remote hunting property. I don't know if you can see it, but he's got a big stand out there on that meadow, and there's grizzly bears out here, elk, moose, white-tailed deer, mule deer, and some really stunning mountains up there that you can't see right now. And that's what I'm doing. And up over that hill is right where that native guy, the logger, said that they cut that tree years ago and found that skeletal remains of something huge inside the hollowed out cedar. That happened just up over there. And I guess, well, there's stuff that happened around here that Shane mentioned as well in this video. But anyway, that's what I'm doing. Once I get this done, I'm gonna run into town, I gotta get some supplies, and then I'll probably come back here and hang out and make some videos to share with you guys and share some emails while I can. And hopefully I can get them loaded up to the web somehow. We'll see how I do. So I'll be back shortly. All right. So I just fed myself, got in the boat into town. Got back. I'm gonna share some emails. I just glanced over and there's a big bear over here. Not always that big, but let's see if we can get him on this camera. That's right. There. GoPros always make you look farther. Let's see if we can get closer to him. They're not the smartest of animals. It's right there. Normally they run. He ain't running. Alrighty then. Trying to get a win. Alright, let's take the battery in this camera and go back and get some emails shared. Should have gotten me chewed on. Didn't bring my gun. Oh, there he goes. Now he's running. Alright, back in a second. Alright. You know, it's funny how in the middle of nowhere I actually am here. I'll show you, I don't know if I can show you guys where I am. Maybe. All right, so here is, excuse me. Can you see that, I wonder? See a little blue dot where I am right now? I'm gonna creep this way out. All right, now that white line on the left side of on that side of my phone is the British Columbia Alberta border, and that's the Rocky Mountains. And there is literally nothing but highway and wilds all around me forever. One highway cuts through, and that's where I am in that trench, right in the middle of the Rocky Mountains. Now, enough of that. Let's get on hearing some voices. Listen to this. Adirondack, Bigfoot, the CK blocker. What? Oh, C.K blocker. All right. Steve, I don't know how to word my experience other than that. You'll understand as I tell my story. Thanks for the forum. You can use any information I tell you, including my name. This happened the summer of my graduation in high school. For people to search the location, Lyons Falls, New York, or Leon's Falls, New York. It's on the edge of the Adirondack Mountains. Upstate New York was crucial to the transportation of numerous whole goods, building materials, trade. The Erie Canal was built as a direct route from the Hudson River to the Great Lakes. My encounter was in July of '85. I was going to college on a football scholarship, as was my friend. That will be important later on. Before COVID, there were a number of county fairs. We were going to the Boonville Fair to do what young men do: eat a lot, drink, try to meet girls. We accomplished our goals. We went to the Black River to watch fireworks and swim. We split into couples each, swimming and having privacy. Out of nowhere, there's this huge splash right between all of us. We figure it's our friends messing with us. My buddy starts yelling and going into a tirade. I have turned towards where the rock came from. I catch the moonlight on the next rock flying. A huge splash. I was a strong guy as well as my friend. We were both going to go grab a rock and toss it back. Each of those rocks were in the 150 to 200 pound range. Holy shit. Nobody, I don't care who is throwing these rocks 40 plus feet. The road into the spot is soft and with pine trees on both sides, never broken branches, fallen trees. The road has access to power lines, the road is access to power lines that provide power to New York City. My point is it's well maintained. When we ran to the car to turn around and leave, these two trees blocked the exit. My girlfriend and I struggled to move them enough to get by. The normal smell of pine trees is always present. We never got the foul stench so often attributed to many encounters. But what we saw is my nightmare from then until. That's it. It dies just like that. That's the end. The end. Wow, I hope there wasn't a whole pile more there, man. If there was, maybe email it back in because it's not here. This sounds pretty freaking unnerving, though. 200-pound rocks getting thrown at you in the dark. No thanks. Yeah. Excuse me. What do we got here? This is titled better type this, mark this as red. Nothing out the windows yet. Usually big elk walk by or bears or whatever. Other bears. Excuse me. My coworker story. Hey Steve, I have a quick to the point story my coworker just told me. I'm not sure how far back this happened. I'm assuming late 90s, early 2000s, and it was around 11 o'clock at night. Him and 3 of his friends were cresting a hill up in Humboldt County, basically into a little valley. On the opposite side of the valley was a semi coming down the hill at about the same rate. He said both sets of their headlights hit something huge in the middle of the road. He said it looked like a tree on the yellow line in the middle of the road. He told me there were no clothes and that he could see, and the thing that stood out the most was its hands hung down close to its ankles. He said the semi-driver laid on his horn and the thing turned and in a single hopped across the entire lane and over the guardrail. Every person in the car saw it. He also said the other side of the guardrail was a pretty steep cliff. He also said it looked like a human, just huge with long arms. He's only told a handful of people the story. Thanks for sharing. Not that it matters, but you can use my name, Jeff Hoosman. Jeff, thanks for that, man. And Jeff, I'll guarantee you, if there's a carload of people that saw that thing, one of them's watching the channel. I will bet you anything. One of them's watching the channel. And more people get inducted into the Club of No Return without asking. Again. Okay, this is an old one that we've had. I already recognize that. Weird. So weird how many times I see emails in here that we've heard. All right, what do we got here? Holy cow, this is way too long. Excuse me. All right, what's this? This is titled, Always Impressed. Hey, Steve, this email is for you, as I do not know of any other way to reach you. I've sent in a couple of emails and would love to have you read them on your channel. They have pertinent material in reference to the Roundtable of Knowledge. This one, however, is meant to reach you personally. Ah, damn it. All right. Let me read it. Hold on, you guys. Excuse me. All right. Here's another one. Owl Stomp Weird. Hello, sir. I've been watching your channel since my sister told me about it quite a while ago. It's incredibly interesting and informative, and I thank you for sticking your neck out for so many others by actually allowing people to tell their stories. You tell us an amazing variety of first-hand accounts. Also, I love your attitude on many current topics in today's world, like how media monkeys put on dramatic performances in order to make people think a certain way. A huge thanks to you for telling the truth. Thank you for the kind words. My name is Donnie. I'm from Alberta, and I want to share my strange story. Looking back, this may or may not be a Sasquatch story. I've been a believer since I was a teenager, and that was 30 years ago. I believe that Sasquatches are highly intelligent humanoids that should be greatly respected. I was camping all by myself one night, and it rained for a few days. I was supposed to meet 2 friends, but they backed out. I was in a small campsite, and there were only 2 others in the whole campsite. Neither was close to me, and this was July 2015. The incident was blurry for me the morning after, and a little more blurry now. At about 1:30 a.m., I woke up and began to hear an owl, with the usual owl sound you would hear on a TV show. It went over and over again for a while, and I was half asleep. I've lived in Alberta for my entire life, and I've never heard that owl call in nature before, though. It kept hooting until suddenly a very large thud hit right next to my tent to the left of me, like a gigantic stomp. That woke me up. I felt it. I laid there frozen, thinking of my knife and bear spray not far from me. Now for the very weird part. I suddenly felt like I was being scanned. A sort of vibration went through my feet to my head, then my head to my feet. I felt it going. I was already frozen with fear. I laid there and it stopped. I don't remember hearing the stomper move away. That's it. That's the story. I did not see anything. I only heard and felt what happened. I also believe I heard chatter another time at a location not far from this campsite, in a much more secluded area at about 4:30 a.m. And finally, I don't want the following disclosed to everyone out there. If you do read this one to the people, but I want you to know it. It may be of interest to you. The campsite I was in was the Dry Haven Campground, which is 13 kilometers west of Nordegg, Alberta. It is actually right along the highway. There's a nice creek running next to the site. You can follow it for miles back into the bush, away from the highway. I know exactly where that is, man. When I heard the chatter, where I heard the chatter was at Ram Falls Campground, which is about 60 kilometers north of Nordegg along the trunk road, gravel road that goes for a few hundred kilometers south to north. There's a long history of Sasquatch encounters through this area and hundreds of miles of bush country. We had a deer stomping and snorting at us one time in there. It's a huge campsite, but no one ever stays there. There's been none to maybe 3 others in this site all the times I've been there. Rams walk through every often and stay in the area. There's a beautiful gorge and waterfall. That'll be bighorn sheep, you guys, if you're wondering. Thank you again for doing what you do, Donald. Okay, Donald, thanks for sending that in, man. There's a piss load of sightings around Nordegg. Always has been, always will be. That's not too far from me, actually. It's right over the mountains that way. Thanks for the email. All right, what do we got here? One more. I'm going to go. I got to go to bed. I got a big day tomorrow. Girls' Night Out. Hi, Steve. I've been watching your channel for a long time now. Even though I've never seen a Bigfoot, I've always believed in them. Around 6 years ago, I was invited to a bonfire at one of my friend's houses in Howell, New Jersey. There were 6 of us ladies, and we had brought our own lawn chairs and drinks and sat in the backyard around a bonfire. We were all having a good time, talking and enjoying the night. There seemed like something was throwing acorns between me and my friend. I did not say anything at first, but then my friend noticed the acorns being thrown at us. So we both said something to the group that it seemed like acorns were being thrown from the bushes in the neighbor's yard at us. It was pitch dark out, so my friend took out her phone camera and started to take pictures with the flash on to see if we could see if there's anything in the bushes. We were looking at the pictures on our camera phone when all of a sudden the garbage can with the pile of firewood that we had brought was pushed down with such force that the firewood was scattered all over the yard. All of us were freaked out, and some of the girls were saying that it was a ghost. We did not see anything in the picture on the camera phone. I did not want to stay any longer. I was a little creeped out. I called my boyfriend to let him know I was coming back early. He was out with some friends and told me to wait at his apartment, and he would be there shortly. I arrived at his apartment, and I was sitting on his couch, and I heard clicking or fluttering sound by my right ear. I've heard this before on the right side of my head, and it's not in my ear. It's on the outside of my head, like a bug is flying next to my head. I've heard this thing fluttering or clicking noise before in the past. So I said to the clicking noise, I don't know who you are, and I don't understand what you are trying to say to me. Please just leave me alone. Once I said this, the clicking, fluttering noise stopped. I've not heard it ever since. Steve, I'm interested to see if anyone has experienced a clicking noise or a sound like a bug is flying next to their head. I've been invited back for a girls' night out at my friend's fire pit, but I do not want to experience that again. If they want to meet up, we can go to the bar. Thank you for giving us this platform to share experiences. Margaret. All right, thanks, Margaret. I'm sure, like as usual, if somebody's got something they can relate out of that, they can leave it in the comment section below this video. If you want to surf that zone and see if somebody's got something familiar to share. All right, I'm beat. I don't know if I'm going to be able to load this or not. We'll see. We'll find out. I'm going to try now, and then I'll keep recording these stories, but I just don't know when I'll be able to load them up. And I'm going to look out. It's very last seeing light, so I'm going to go out and see what kind of wildlife's out there. And I will be back again.